Right. That's what's up. Welcome to the show, motherfuckers. Let a little content disclaimer roll in the back there for a minute. Just like to let everybody know, not making any dollar bills off of this. This is a live stream coming to you from smoke2thinkonn.com. This is Blunt Talk Live. I'm your bud tender Rod. You can follow at my bud tender Rod, or you can follow at Be a Better Bud Tender Now if you're interested in my upcoming work, this new thing I'm doing. That's up. That's me right here, my bud tender Rod. Be a Better Bud Tender Now. Follow on the Instagram and shit. They're right here. Right here. Right here. So, time to smoke a blunt and look at some news, right? That's what we do here. That is literally the format of the show. Smoking blunts, talking about the news. Got our caffeination handy. It's an important thing. Come to think of it, I think I could use another caffeinator, and also perhaps just a tad more light on this delightful face. So let's do that. That's right, that's what we're doing. Fucking A, Smoke to Think On, bringing you blunt talk. There's that shining fucking face of mine. I know y'all were missing it. I know you were missing it. So what's good, motherfuckers? In the news today for cannabis, it's going to be a quick one, I think. There's not a whole lot intriguing going on, but specifically here in Nevada, we do got some interest. Rolling Stone did cover this fine state and its new cannabis culture. Well, legal cannabis culture, I should say. Well, they did do an okay job when they came to the Reno section. They left out the dispensary, which, quite frankly, I think is a little shitty. If you haven't taken the cruise on through, oh, where is it? There it is, the dispensary. Oh, we're not mirroring right now. Sorry, folks. Flip that around in your heads. So yeah, the Rolling Stones here, they did cover Nevada's pot culture. Now, I don't know if they're the definitive guide, mind you. They do claim to be the Rolling Stone guide to legal pot, not like the ultimate guide. It's obviously me. But it's a pretty good little article. You know, they cover mostly what's going on as far as Vegas. Yeah, I get it. Leave me alone. Leave me alone with your bullshit. They mostly cover Vegas stores, but you know, what are you gonna do? That's where like 42 out of the 62 stores in the state are at, so you can't blame them for that. It does a little discussion about how medical marijuana, or recreational cannabis lounges of some sort are definitely going to come necessary here in the future, because where the fuck are all the tourists supposed to smoke? They spend a pretty good amount of time in the article actually going over just that concept alone. Is where do you go if you're here from, you know, Texas on vacation? You walk into the store, they give you a shitload of weed for a decent price, and you're like, all right, I got all this fucking pot, I'm gonna head back to the hotel and smoke it. Not legally, you're not. And yeah, I like that the Rolling Stone kind of plays issue with that. They bring that up. They say, hey, what the fuck, yo? You can you know, like, you can gamble your life savings away, you can drink until you have a genuine liver condition, but I can't smoke a joint in the fucking hotel room? Huh, no. No is the answer. You cannot. But there is still some cannabis tourism happening here in Vegas and in Reno. Not much in Reno, but in Vegas at least. They're doing cannabis tours where you can kind of bounce around from dispensary to dispensary, and then they take you finally to a spot where you can actually consume. That's going to be a private person's home, like a private property of somewhere. And that's cool. Or maybe a closed bar of some sort, I don't know. The speakeasy I go to works that way. We close that shit up on a day where it's either A, not open, or, like closes at 9, closes at 10, and then the bar becomes a private party where, based on club membership and invites and stuff. So it's a pretty cool scene. It's how we're doing it here in Nevada for now, but it looks like people are, even on the national scale, calling for some fucking cannabis consumption here somewhere in the state of Nevada. For all the people who don't, one of the things they did mention is you can always look for good Airbnbs that are cannabis friendly. They'll say right in it, usually 420 friendly. So that's a good option. You can always look there. Or you can just kind of do it under the radar, which is what I usually recommend clients when I sell them the weed and they say, hey, where can I go to smoke this? I say legally nowhere, but police in Reno usually have better things to do than be concerned with what a full-grown adult is smoking while taking a walk down fucking Main Street. I mean, keep your eyes peeled for cops on bikes. They're ultimately always bored, but usually speaking, they're not going to hassle you. Anecdotally, my homie got hassled for smoking a joint walking down the street, and the cop said, hey, you smoking a joint? And he goes, yeah, I was. And the cop said, oh, knock that shit off. It's against the rules. Didn't hassle him. They could have searched him, could have found him his weed, could have cited him. They didn't. They got better shit to do. And then it just kind of goes on to do little sales pieces for the top 3, what looks like top 3 stores in Vegas. And then talks a little bit more about the politics of starting a shop and what it takes to get a store together and what it might look like to have recreational, lounges. And then it pops into Reno here. Look at this. Calling on for Silver State, Canna, Sierra Wellness. Not a fucking mention of the dispensary. Who paid for this article, I'm wondering. You know what I'm saying? And then it talks a little bit about, the outskirts of Reno and whatnot. Again, there's a church in Vegas you can go to have your weeding, the Cannabis Chapel. They have weddings. It's kind of neat. So that's Rolling Stone's guide to cannabis in Nevada. I'll be honest with you, I'm going to have to put together my own guide to cannabis here pretty soon. That'll be fun. I'm going to do one for Reno pretty quick. There's some project happening here. I got to finish doing a little bit of research, but my understanding is that I can go into any place that's public and record my interactions. So, providing I don't see any specifically thing written on the wall about not recording, I guess maybe then. Most dispensaries have that, but we'll see. See what I can do. I'm trying to get some footage inside as well as out. But dispensary reviews for the local area are coming up. I'm gonna do a top 10 list. I know there's not 10 stores in the area, I'm just saying, kind of a list. It's gonna be cool. So let's move forward. What else do we got here? Oh. No high rollers allowed. Stoned marijuana users cannot fucking gamble in the state of Nevada. Now this to me is baffling. You can get off the fucking airplane at Reno Tahoe International. You can literally drive down Plum Street, I don't know, 5, 6 big city blocks, and find yourself at the dispensary where you can pick up a fucking ounce of legal good old-fashioned green, and then you could get back on Highway 80, Interstate 80, and you can cruise your ass east until you get to the local whorehouse, where you can then pay $100 and some odd to some random woman to play with your dick in her mouth. All of those things, totally legit. When you're done getting your dick swabbed by a fucking straight up Nevada licensed whore, You can drive a few more blocks down the road to the next fucking casino where you can have them pour you enough liquor to literally comatose a horse. But while you're drinking that liquor and spending your child's fucking college fund at the blackjack table, you are not allowed to do so while smoking a joint, let alone smoking a joint. You can't even be high. Don't dare tell your fucking, don't dare tell the dealer that the last thing you did after coming in that fucking legal prostitute's mouth was light up a joint and smoke it to your fucking face, because he will have to stop serving you legally. What? Yeah, that's true. You can fuck whores, you can drink yourself silly, and you can gamble away a life, but you cannot do the gambling while stoned. That is fucked up in the head to me. I just don't understand. What is the state of Nevada thinking? Where is the line? I mean, let's be fair. Cannabis is bad for the fucking casino. This is not a law that is there to help the consumer. I bet money we dig into this, we find this is a law written by the fucking casino industry. And I say this because Eddie, longtime stoner, knows when it comes to things like paying attention, being aware, focus, shit like that, cannabis unstereotypically has a tendency to improve those things for us, right? So like I grabbed some high terpinolene content grass, good old fashioned strong sativa, and I smoke that to my dome before I sit down to fucking try and write a song, or before I sit down and try and do my math homework. Shit gives me focus. It focuses and centers my intent and my will. That cannot be good for a casino card table. I'll tell you right now, I wake up first thing in the morning and walk over to a blackjack table. I am not going to be able to count cards on a high-low probability scale. That's not going to happen. But I smoke a couple of blunts, throw in a little bit of this magic, little taurine ginseng, little fucking caffeine. I can count them cards, yo. So why the fuck can't I get stoned and play cards? My guess is it's bad for business. Ooh, this one is scary. Michael Cohen probe touches the Vegas cannabis company. So there's this big fucking company, right? This big ass taxi cab guy, big taxi cab guy, named Slater, Mike, something like that. Let's see here, what's his last name? Let's come up here. We'll just look through this. This is off Leafly. So Trump's attorney, who's being investigated by the FBI, has been loaning money to this guy who's trying to open up some cannabis stores. He's trying to fucking get into the cannabis market. This Ukrainian guy, he's got over 500 taxi medallions. That's fucking millions of dollars between New York and Chicago. He created this business here in Nevada called Cannabis, who we'll do some interesting investigating about here in a minute. And it turns out, to start the business, he got this Michael Cohen motherfucker to throw him $26 million through his father-in-law. Now here's what I have to say about this whole incident, okay? This guy, all he's trying to do is he's trying to follow the market. He's trying to follow where the money is. This Stainer guy, Stainer, it's a hard word to say. Sorry, but it is. Stainer here, he's looking at this like this. He's got like, I got fucking several $1 million invested into these taxis, okay? Just to put it in perspective, a medallion in Chicago when I was last there talking to the cabbies was $1 to $2 million. That's how much it costs to buy a fucking, to basically to put one taxi cab on the road legally in the city of Chicago. And they only have so many of them. They're like liquor licensed, right? So if it's $1 to $2 million, let's say 1.5 million in the city of Chicago. Even though I bet it's more in the city of New York, let's give New York the fucking benefit of the doubt, right? Let's even it out and make it fucking $2 million between Chicago and New York. 500 medallions. That's $1 billion just in fucking taxis on the ground. I ain't even talking about paying insurance or, you know, upkeep fees, paying for all your other employees like dispatchers, drivers. I know make a cut of the fucking what they drive, but you know what I'm saying? Like, that's a lot of fucking money. And then Uber and Lyft comes in, the share economy bullshit. Now you're a guy with 500 fucking taxis on the road, $1 billion in medallions. Taxis are fucking dying, right? Uber and Lyft are coming through and they're just raping you over the coals. Anybody and their brother can drive for Uber, right? So now, what's this guy to do? He's got all this money. He's starting to lose money. He sees an opportunity in the cannabis market, borrows some money from somebody that he knows, pumps it into this little business, and now he's gonna start making some fucking loot in the Vegas area, trying to fucking sell weed, get his game on. So let me state clearly, I got nothing against this guy Steiner, who may have gotten at least $6 million directly from this guy Cohen to finance his grow operations. I think he's just being smart. He's saying, I need this loot. I need to be in this industry so I can rise up out of the failing industry that I'm currently in, start shifting my assets and my money and my liquidity. And I know these fucking motherfuckers from New York who got papers, so I'm gonna ask them for some fucking loot. Nothing wrong with that. The guy he took the money from happens to be the lawyer of a degenerate cartoon president from a fucking parallel universe that we crashed into when they turned on CERN. But hey, that ain't this guy's fault. It's not his job to decide who the fuck Michael Cohen is a lawyer for, you know? And frankly, if Michael Cohen was my lawyer or anybody else was my lawyer, I would appreciate them not telling everybody and their brother, hey, I'm this guy's lawyer, you know? It's none of their business, you know? Y'all know. But it is intriguing to see, and this is what I'd like to really focus on. This entire situation happening on the greater non-cannabis related scale of news in America today, this President Trump fucking season 2 that we're currently in, I would just like to ask it to politely stay the fuck out of my cannabis news. Is that asking too much? So what if Michael Cohen owns a fucking chunk of a cannabis stock, basically? Who cares if the guy who runs his business owes him some money with some dividends attached? Who really gives a fuck? Right? I mean, they digging into Trump's lawyer. Just tells me Trump's lawyer must be really, really good. Right? Because they say there's all this evidence out there to suggest that Trump is the fucking devil. And yet they can't seem to put him behind fucking bars. So now it's like they just thinking, oh, this motherfucker just got like a Johnny Cochran of a lawyer. We better tear the lawyer down. Tear down the lawyer, then we go after the man. And that's fine. That's politics in America. That's the fucking spectacle that has become American politics. I'm cool with all of that. Just please leave my fucking weed news alone. You know what I mean? Stay out of it. Turns out this guy gave Cohen some properties in Florida as collateral on the loan. Fair. Just saying. And the reality is all of this is just trying to infect every aspect of American life, every aspect of subculture in American life. They're going to try to infect with this all-consuming and exponentially growing monster that is American politics season 2. That's what we'll call it. And even President Trump season 2. It's just straight up American politics season 2. That's what we're watching. That's what we're breathing and always ingesting right now. And this is just evidence that is slowly but surely siphoning its way in to our beautiful, happy little weed culture. So it's not Leafly's fault. This is the Associated Press. I'm just saying, fuck you, Associated Press. Stay out my weed news with this Donald Trump shit. And unless the news happens to be Donald Trump today signs executive order, nullifying all legislation against cannabis consumption, and nullifies the regulation of the DEA to determine what drugs are at what schedule. That's another video for another day. Fuck Michael Cohen, fuck Donald Trump. Unless them motherfuckers freeing us, I'm over it. How high are recreational marijuana taxes in your state? Let's see. State of Nevada, 15% excise tax, 10% sales tax. That's why we pay 18%, because we pay 10% in Reno anyway. We spend 10% on the weed, and then of course we spend 8% to the state of Reno, or the city of Reno. I'm sure it's elsewhere. Holy fuck, Washington is at 37%. How the fuck are you people getting high over there? What are you doing? Like for weed, really? It's almost half your weed cost goes to the man. State of Oregon has some decency, 17% sales tax. That's just what it is. State of California does 15%. Holy shit. $9.25 per ounce of flower and $2.75 per ounce of leaves cultivation tax. Damn. It's like, fuck. $160 a pound in tax for the cultivator. That's actually not terrible, really. Alaska has a $50 per ounce. That's fair, I guess. I mean, straight up, not fair, but like that's at least direct. Massachusetts is in the lowest with 10.75, it looks like. Colorado's got that 15 and 15 again. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, Massachusetts hasn't started rec sales yet, so we don't know, but fair. That's good to know, isn't it, folks? That's how much you pay. Cannabis. Marijuana sweet, weed sweet. Huh. Cannabis. Yes, I am. Leave me alone. Weed maps. I just want to know, is this a store or is this a fucking... Yeah, it's a store. Alright, cool. So yeah, this cat's already selling weed. Delivery only. Personally, I think that's the way to do it. Cannabis looks to be up and running unless this company's looking to get sued. Because it looks like that taxi driver got some fucking loot. You know what I'm saying? He can fucking sue if he needs to. Somebody's stealing his name. And then this is the real meat and potatoes of this episode. Facebook is a cannabis problem. Community standards don't solve. Look at this smug motherfucker. First of all, let it be known, your boy, my bud Tender Rod, has very little love, respect, or appreciation for Mark Zuckerberg on a personal level. Like, the more I read about how the history of this company and the more I know about the company, the more I just shake my head and go, fuck, dude, you've been plotting this since day one. This has always been the game. And that's where I come back to on the respect level for business. Gotta respect Mark Zuckerberg. I mean, fuck. This is a guy who before the era of social media looked at the amount of data people were willing to give to a website and said, that is so much more valuable than any product I could ever sell. And he said, I'm gonna build a fucking way to absorb that data, and then I'm gonna build a way to analyze that data, and then I'm gonna make that data readily available and useful to advertisers. And it literally changed the game of the internet. Now fast forward, it's 2018, we got at least 4 states that are recreationally legal. 5 now, right? We got Washington, Colorado, California, Nevada, Oregon. Yeah. And I think Massachusetts just went. 6 states. I mean, we got a bunch of states that are legal, and we got a bunch of states that are medically legal for years, and we got stores that can't have You can't have a fucking website as a dispensary. I mean, an Instagram. Instagrams for dispensaries getting shut down all the time. You can't have a fucking Instagram for it. It's bullshit. I mean, that's why I got my bud tender rod. What inspired me to start this was my store was not able to maintain their own fucking Instagram account because Instagram would just shut it down all the time. Instagram is an offshoot of Facebook, I'm pointing out here. Facebook does the same shit. It's hard to get your shit approved for advertising if you're a cannabis collective, if you're a dispensary. And in the sake of fairness, I mean, yeah, don't get me wrong. Should Facebook be cutting ads for people who are just like, yo, buy my weed, dog? I'm a dealer. I mean, sure, but not very many dealers are out there doing it. There are a few. There are a few, especially in Vegas, who are pretending to be legit stores and carrying the right strains and just showing up. And that's legit good for them. I personally don't mind it one bit. Keep up the hustle, criminals. I'm not saying people should go out and do it. I'm just saying if you're already doing it, hey, looking good for you, you know? But if you're a fucking brand new dispensary, let's say you're a little mom and pop shop, right? You went out and you got a couple of investors, you put together the loot required to actually open a store, you bought all your product, you got a decent location, nobody knows who you are, so you think to yourself, hey, I'm a smart young person in this modern era. I'm gonna go ahead and hop on Facebook and buy some ad time. I'm gonna invest the money and I'm gonna buy my ad time. And then Facebook comes back and says, we're sorry, but your content or your subject matter is quote unquote illegal. So go fuck yourself. At what point, do you regulate via per state? When do you respect the fact that it's per state? Let's say somebody just trying to do a Instagram of or pictures of their wedding, right? And they'd be smoking a fucking joint on their wedding. That can get their Facebook shut down. They're just their personal page. That's what this article is talking about. And it's kind of sad because, it makes me concerned. I have, 18 followers right now, 18 subscribers to this YouTube channel. Is this a chat for James Blunt fans? I wish. Who's James Blunt? I just do cannabis news. Sorry guys, I just noticed somebody was chatting in the chat room, so there you go. Point in case. I got a small following. But my concern is if this were to get bigger, right? If I was to develop an audience, like a real core, bigger audience, would my shit just get shut down? Because companies like YouTube or like Facebook here are afraid for some reason that by promoting this content, they're gonna somehow be liable. I mean, Jesus, these are companies with infinite fucking resources, that claim to be on the side of the user. Their base, and the reality is they're really at the behest of the advertisers. And let's be fair, if you're a smart advertiser in 2018, you look at this current culture and you go, I'm less concerned with law and more concerned with culture, because culture is what's driving sales, right? So the culture is cannabis. It's a fucking lifestyle. Bill Maher just did this great piece on 420 about it. It was brilliant, talking about the difference between guns as a lifestyle for Republicans and cannabis as a lifestyle for Democrats, and something that Democrats should latch onto. Personally, I think cannabis users should form our own political party, and we'll just call it Reason, the Reason Party, or we could call it the Logic Party. That would be okay too. But either way, it's a valid point Maher makes about how we are, there's a lifestyle. Cannabis is a lifestyle, and if you're in marketing and you don't see the potential for this particular market, you're a fool. So I really think that companies like Facebook and YouTube they're clearly making decisions in an era 10 years ago, 15 years ago, where this kind of legalization did not look like it was going to be inevitable. You used to have one state recreational or legalized for medical cannabis, and then it would take 10 years for its neighbor to do the same. You know, now, I mean, shit, Nevada and California voted the same voting cycle to legalize cannabis. You know, technically it wasn't two at once because the cannabis opened, you know, July 1st for us here in the fine state of Nevada, and didn't start until January 18 for those in California. But still, recreational smoking was allowed on the 1st of January 2017. Both states you could possess and smoke. How fucking cool is that? So I just feel like it's time for folks like the folks at Facebook to really come to conclusion here that cannabis is part of American culture, and if you're not going to be willing to take my money, you know what I'm saying, you know, where are you going to draw the line? Where are you going to draw the line? You know, careful with that wedding photo. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Conscious act of social progress. I hate this shit. That's all bullshit. But anyway, Facebook essentially says it's dangerous, it's bad, it's illegal, and it's like, go fuck yourselves, yo. So anyway, that's the cannabis news in Nevada. I am your host, Rod. I'm your bud tender, Rod. You can follow here. Lately, I've been working on a new project that's coming up right here. This will be a better bud tender now. So if you're interested in becoming a bud tender, or you're already a bud tender and you want to sharpen your skills, hone the craft, ultimately just make more money, check that out. There is going to be an accompanying YouTube channel. I'm still building some content for that. I'm not looking to do that one too fast, you know. I want that one to be kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Sharp. Yeah, I want that shit to be sharp. Not muddled, not rushed, you know, concise and quick. So, thanks for tuning in. This was Blunt Talk Live. I am your host. Tune in probably tomorrow. We'll see, where maybe we'll look at some Nevada cannabis news just for the whole country. You never know what's going on out there. Most of this stuff is old news. Yeah, old news, old news, old news. Not much happening here at the end of the month for this fine state of cannabis, but we will talk to y'all motherfuckers later.